I loved being outside and listening to the music and it coming from the different directions.
It was thrilling and moving. We kind of had the elements of nature that were unpredictable, that were kind of creating their own orchestral manoeuvres, and they were kind of interacting spectacularly with the composition, the music, and the soundscapes themselves. So the soundscapes were almost in a kind of dance with the natural elements, because we were outdoors under the stars, which then became clouds with rain, and yet the moon was out. So that interaction, to be able to be out in a regional community, a long, long way out from the capital city, and having made the trek up here, and then to have experienced all those elements together was extraordinary.
I thought it made me think of the possibilities of space and how do we know what the sounds and what space is really like. And so we had a little taste of what it could be in that music, I thought.
I absolutely loved it. I think it was great. Personally, I felt really transported in a different universe, I guess, or with like kind of a resonating musical universe. And yeah, it was magic. I was somewhere else for all that time.
I thought it was absolutely amazing. Completely surrounded by different sounds, and then sounds of space junk, sounds of the birds passing behind me as I sat and listened. It was incredible. It was really, really quite moving. Yeah.
Well, it was really abstract and it was kind of slightly bizarre in some moments, but then it kind of made you sit up and go, wow, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it was very connected to the sounds and experiences that you can get in some rural and remote locations, like the magpies, the kind of the echoing sounds. So yeah, it was different but interesting.
I loved it. Like I really loved the immersive nature of it. Just for following the sound, I was sort of following the sound around the circle a lot. Just the surround sound nature of it, and just the rumbles of the subs. Yeah, just feeling the ground shake underneath me. You know, we became part of the weather, I feel.
I think it's great. It's such a privilege because we won't usually get that sort of music here.
Yeah.
Like we could have a go ourselves, but to have it presented like that was lovely. And in the environment, even with the rain, it was gorgeous.
Well, I guess it connects it to the place, so it's probably gives it another meaning or an extra layer. I'm not too sure. Actually, I quite liked the rain. I thought it was good. You know, it was another connection, and heard that noise of the rain as well. And yeah, it was maybe even better with the rain. I liked it.
I think for a work like this, the environment is a major part of it. It's critical, and not always possible to perform it in the optimum environment. And I think the opportunity to be outside and to be in open space and to have the sky surround us as we listen is really, really important, and I think really connected the audience to the work.
So for me, working in community, for me the storytelling and sitting around in a circle helps with that connectedness to land, and there was a strong connection with the performance to land, sky, the moon, and we had a full moon tonight. It hid behind the clouds occasionally, but you know what? That just mesmerised you, and it was really quite special. And for me, the connectedness and that storytelling in a circle is pretty powerful.
You know, when you get out here, you are more connected with space and more connected with the Milky Way, and that's one of the things I love about being out here. And I think one of the valuable things about the piece, I really love also like, you know, the grandeur of the stars, but also the closeness of the space junk and things like that. I like that juxtaposition, like in that, you know, stars that we'll never reach and space junk that may fall on our heads. So like, yeah, it felt very, very current, you know, and I don't know, my eyes kept getting drawn upwards, even though it was cloudy, but just because it was a full moon, I felt that was a really special thing. So we kept turning and looking at the moon, you know. And there was one moment where a jet passed overhead and it didn't make any noise, but it was flashing lights, but it just suited the ambience of the music so beautifully. Like it just seemed much more than a plane passing over us. It just had a sort of a more of a celestial or a deeper vibe about it.
Freeing, interesting, and wet.
And wet.
Moving, emotional, and unpredictable.
Well, it made me think, you know, the broad expanse of space, experimental type music, made me think that that's what music making, if that could be what music making could be like for everybody, because we can all make music one way or another. So it just made me think of all the possibilities.
Great.
All the possibilities, there you go.
Ethereal, transporting and mystical.
Mesmerising, profound, immersive.
Connected to land and sky.
I'd say immersion, connectivity, and gravity.